Next Thursday at 1 minute past midnight, Utah is set to carry out the state's first execution by lethal injection in more than 2 decades.
After 26 years on death row, Honie is set to be executed for the brutal murder of Claudia Ben in 1998. We have team coverage tonight, beginning with Darby Sparks. She spoke with a group of people opposed to the death penalty who are protesting his execution. Darby?
That is correct. And 2 people who know the death penalty firsthand came to this church today to protest the upcoming execution, saying it's both costly and immoral.
Suzanne Bossler says her father once told her he wouldn't even want his own killer to be executed. Years later, he was murdered during a burglary. Scrambling to help, she suffered 5 stab wounds and brain injuries during the attack.
If my dad was going to die, I wanted to hold him in my arms so that he wouldn't die on that cold terrazzo floor by himself in a pool of blood.
But she'd later have to hire a defense lawyer in her own case after being threatened with contempt of court for speaking against the possibility of her attacker's execution.
In the courtroom, I pointed to him, I said, "James Bernard Campbell, I forgive you whether you accept it or not."
It was a success. The man received life in prison instead. Randy Gardner's little brother, Ronnie, was the last person to be executed in the state of Utah by firing squad in 2010.
It came about so quick. He was on death row for 25 years. At that point, we never thought he'd be executed.
He says they were given only 60 days to prepare. Honie claims he was heavily influenced by his drug and alcohol use to commit the attack, which Death Penalty Action says is common amongst death row inmates.
Most people who commit murder, most people who commit terrible crimes, with the right kind of supports and re-entry, can be productive citizens again. Want to be the only crew that gets the bishop on camera?
And they say that most inmates on death row are from a background of trauma and abuse. And they say that it is a better investment to invest in prevention methods than to invest in execution. Live in Salt Lake City, I'm Darby Sparks, KSL 5 News.